Good morning, agents, and welcome to another daily episode of Target Loot today for September 30th, the last day of September too. The series that shows you the Target Loot map, farming tips and tricks, vendor reset highlights, and much more. I'm Agent Shadow, and if you enjoy my content, please consider smashing the subscribe and like buttons below. Also check the pinned comment for links to support my channel, my Discord, and Shadow Crew clan on all platforms. So let's get started with the DZ first and the highlights from the Dark Zone vendors, Washington DC, and finally New York City Target Loot highlights. So at the clan, we got the mechanical animal. We also got a D50 at the White House that's used to craft the Liberty. And then of course, in the Dark Zones, we got Bellstone Armory at DZ West. So if you're looking for that liquid engineer that has perfect bloodsucker, at least for right now from the TU11 gear spreadsheet, it's showing that the Liquid Engineer is a DZ exclusive. So if you want to get in there and try to grab the Liquid Engineer with perfect bloodsucker, that's a backpack, I think it's totally worth it. If you haven't been able to get one to drop that's good enough in the light zone area from the named caches and the season 3 reward track, you could always try in Dark Zone West today. Over in DZ South, we got Seska. So I believe the Devil's Due backpack is Seska with perfect clutch, which you can go for. And now that has a generic gear mod slot to it, an agnostic one. I think it used to roll with, it might have rolled with a red one, but anyway, you could grab that one. And then at the vendor, you can get the Matador. It's rolled with weapon damage, crit hit chance, and health. So just roll that health right off. And then over in DZ East, you can get the Hollow Man mask at the vendor, all armor rolls and explosive resistance, so I really don't think it's worth grabbing. And then of course you can get something that I think is an amazing named weapon in this game and worth farming for, the Virginian with perfect boomerang. And then I believe the Everlasting Gaze is a Dark Zone exclusive as well if you want to try to grab that up today. Now remember, named items in the DZ vendors cost 152 DZ resources. You can get DZ resources by deconstructing loot in your contaminated bag and then extracting them. Otherwise, you will have to extract marked as junk loot, not the DZ resources themselves. Alright, agents, north side highlights. Well, we got Richter and Kaiser at Camp White Oak. That's usually good for healer builds. Same with Alp Summit. There's nothing in particular I recommend. You got assault rifles at the Coney Island Ballpark, so you can get the exotic Chameleon. You can go for the burnout named FAMAS, the military AKM named Maniac, or you can grab the mechanical animal with Future Perfection. Those are usually all worth it, really, especially mechanical animal and the Chameleon. Or you can get a top tier AR like the FAMAS, military AKM, Carbine 7, Police Sim 4. Those are all really good top tier assault rifles. You can farm D50s at the amusement park, but I would just buy them at the White House this week. That's what you need to craft a Liberty. You run 3 missions in a row. I forget exactly which ones they are, but you run those 3 in a row to get the Liberty pieces, and then boom, you get a D50 and craft it. So when D50s are available at vendors, it's good to buy like 5 or 6 of them. And then MMRs at Manning National Zoo, you can farm for the Mantis. The Nemesis is still a quest line, but the Mantis is something you can farm now that Season 2 is over. And then the White Death and the Elk's Longstick are definitely worth farming for. Those are 2 named MMRs. And then pistols at the Summit. Really not that good target to loot today for the Summit. Let's go check out the west side. Alright, agents, we're over here on the west side highlights. So we got submachine guns at the west end. You can farm for the Lady Death. You can get another backfire if you've already gotten it from the season 3 reward track. I think it's like level 60 or 65. You can farm for good SMGs like the Vector variants or the MPX. The Dark Winter and Apartment are DZ exclusives, but not the swap chain and the safety distance if you want to try to grab those up. And of course the Lady Death is worth farming for as well. I actually just made a brand new build video that's coming out at 6 AM Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll probably put it in the top right card. Then we got Overlord at Federal Emergency Bunker. So that's the Fox's Prairie knee pads with 8% damage to targets out of cover. It's always really worth it to run. Unless you're running like a Hunter's Fury build, you know, if you're running an all high-end DPS build without Hunter's Fury, it's good to run that Fox's Prairie knee pads because that damage targets out of cover is multiplicative damage. You can mix that with 10% damage to targets that are cover on your weapons, and it just wrecks for sure. Badger Tough in Downtown West, you can get the 0F's chest piece with Perfect Unbreakable. I also have a build video for that, 2 of them I'll put in the top right card right now. Those are always worth farming for. Unbreakable is an extremely good talent for your DPS builds. Shotguns at Bank HQ, you can get the Sweet Dreams exotic shotgun, or you can get the Mop with that 10% armor on kill. I always roll close and personal on that one. Or you can get a good shotgun like the Marine Super 90 or Custom M870. But I think it's just worth it to run the Mop now. That's kind of the meta shotgun. And you got assault rifles again at the White House area if you just want to farm here instead of the ballpark area. Providence Defense at Roosevelt Island. You can run this on Legendary for the best god rolls possible. And you can get the Sacrifice with Perfect Glass Cannon as well. Light machine guns at Tidal Basin. So that's the Bullet King and Pestilence exotics. Or you can get the named ones like the Quiet Roar, New Reliable, Carnage, Sleipnir. There's all sorts of named LMGs that you can get. You got Mask at DARPA, so you can get the Coyotes Mask, the Vile Mask, and the Punch Drunk Mask with that 20% headshot damage baked into it, which goes great with the Chain Killer Perfect Headhunter chest piece and the Dodge City holster. And that's pretty much it for the west side area. Let's go over to the east side. Alright agents, east side highlights. So Araldo Holdings a DUA. That's really good to have 2 pieces of this with 3 pieces aces and 8s and the Perfect Headhunter chest piece if you want a good headshot build. I usually recommend a backpack Araldo Holdings with Vigilance or Composure. You can get gear sets at American History Museum. So you can get anything with System Corruption, that's a DZ exclusive, and then Foundry Bulwark and Future Initiative chest and backpack pieces. Anything else you can get, even the new Hunter's Fury, you can get the chest and the backpack just by farming either Capitol Building or American History Museum. Pawnee U at Federal Triangle if you want the perfect combined arms force multiplier backpack. It goes great on a turret drone build. I got one I'll put in the top right card right now to show you guys. Petrov at Viewpoint Museum if you need the Contractor's Gloves. It gives you 8% damage to armor. That's usually worth it to run. If you're running an LMG, always run the Contractor's Gloves. And then knee pads at Jefferson Trade Center. So the Sawyer's knee pads, Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads, and then Fox's Prayer knee pads as well. But for Fox's Prayer knee pads, I would stick to Overlord running Lincoln Memorial. It's a fast mission with 3 bosses at the end. That's more easy to get the Fox's Prayer from Overlord than knee pads. Chest pieces at East Mall, you can get the Tardigrade exotic chest piece. And then Bellstone Armor, you can get the Everyday Carrier with Perfectly Efficient. Sokolov over here at Jefferson Plaza. The last 2 builds I've made, those both run 1 piece at least of Sokolov Concern, and that's a backpack or chest piece. So definitely try to farm those today if you can. Jefferson Plaza is a pretty good mission to run back and forth, but it's a little difficult to get that right chest and backpack piece where it's all red and it's got the right talents on it. And then finally, Grupo Sombro at Southwest area, 1 piece for DPS builds and 2 pieces for explosive skill damage builds. Alright, let's go check out New York City highlighted targeted loot, and then I'll let you guys go. Alright agents, we're over here in the New York City highlighted area. So we got holsters at the Tombs. You can get the Imperial Dynasty holster and the Forge holster with 50% extra shield health. That's a whole extra skill tier to your shield. Alp Summative Civic Center if you want to get like a good chest piece with Empathetic Resolve for a healer build. Or you can get the Percussive Maintenance with perfect tech support, although that should be on Wyvernware or Haunted U usually. And then of course Douglas and Harding is where I would run just for the Punch Drunk Mask. That'd be easier than running mass targeted loot. Walker Harrison Co. is great for running for the Chain Killer chest piece with perfect Headhunter. You get gear system mods at Financial District. And if you run into some open world NYC bosses while you're still farming for, a 12% credit damage mod or whatever you're farming for, that maxed out mod, then you have the chance with the Lady Death to drop as well. And then gloves at Liberty Island, it's Black Tusk, I believe. Yeah, it's Black Tusk. So anyway, this would be the best way to get the BTSU gloves because Black Tusk have a higher drop rate chance, but either way, they will drop from gloves targeted loot. Alright, that looks just about it. Let's head back to DC. Alright agents, well that was the targeted loot for September 30th. Thank you for watching and be sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed my content. Click the join button below to further support my dream of being a full-time content creator, or grab some Shadow Gaming merch or become a Patreon today. Take care agents and be sure to stay tuned for more daily, dedicated Division 2 content. This is Agent Shadow signing off. I will see you in the next video. Take care agents.